Oh, well, hello there. I guess you guys were expecting Suit, but he's actually letting me fill in for him right now. He will be back. Anyway, a little insight on who I am. My name is Ruski, and I am an anti-feminist, but I'm a bit different. I am a Russian anti-feminist, an anti-SJW. Now, when it comes down to it, I was raised around a lot of different cultures, but the main one was Russia. And I saw a lot of changes in the country that I originated from. I saw many laws change to adhere to the social justice community. But now I am giving myself a voice. I am speaking out on a lot of these fake trans people, feminists, and even more. I would like to thank Sue for allowing me to have this opportunity, and I guess we just roll my intro. Oh, and another quick thing. I really just wanted to quickly talk about my experience in going from two entirely different cultures. You see, with me, my family, as I said, had originated from Russia. But now we live in one of the biggest social justice countries in the world. As of right now, we live in Canada. And I would rather go back to the Soviet Union. That's how bad it is over here. I would rather go and live while Joseph Stalin was under power. Because as of right now, free speech is being stripped away because if you say something offensive, you must be punished for it. If you say something that goes against non-binary or gender-queer people, you can be arrested in certain provinces. If you say anything against the government, they can punish you in a court of law. If you say anything that goes against anyone's ideas, that anyone is offended by, you will be punished in a lot of places, especially places like Saskatchewan and Alberta. And then many people say that Russia is a terrible country, all because a select few would beat a homosexual in the street. For the most part, that is something that is punished, no matter what. But here, you're punished for just verbally saying something to them. It's insane. It's insanity. And right now, their taxes are screwed up, all because they have a feminist up in the actual office, and they're just adhering to a lot of the different things. As of now, in Ontario, they're going to be making it where mother and father are illegal to say in schools and in public places because it may be offensive to non-binary parents. It's insane. Like, you go from one country where it's, they're coming up, they're getting used to being what they are, and then you come over to Canada, where people think it's a diverse place where everyone can have an opinion. But no, if your opinion is wrong, then you're punished. This isn't how a country should be run. It shouldn't be like this. But it is. And people like this, like Riley J. Dennis, would have a country like this. And it's insane. I honestly don't know why people think like this. And I honestly hate the country I'm living in right now. I honestly thought it would be a great country, but it isn't. I'd rather go back to the country I was from. when it comes down to it, your free speech is being taken away in this country. Safe schools are being put up a lot more. Words are being changed. Words are being taken away. People are being arrested for just saying that non-binary people aren't a thing. That there's no such thing as a non-binary gender. And that gender queer is just a made-up thing. And that gender fluid isn't a thing. People are being arrested for stating things that are based off of biology. That are based off of fucking science. And they're being shouted at. They're being shamed. They're being assaulted. All because their opinion differs from social justice. Anyway, let's hear what this fucking thing has to say.
If I made a video every time Trump said something horrible, I would only make videos about Trump. I hate
Ha ha ha, Trump's a bad person. Ha ha ha, aren't I clever?
that Donald Trump is just everywhere. I wish I could have a day where I just don't hear about Trump and the awful things that he says. But he's here and he's saying things, and unfortunately we have to talk about them. So he said a lot of horrible things in the past. I've talked about some specific ones in my video about if he would support Japanese internment camps. But today specifically we're talking about the tapes that just came out of him speaking in 2005 and saying some really vulgar stuff. The main part of it being that if you're famous, you can just kiss women and do whatever you want and, quote, grab them by the pussy. I don't think any kind, compassionate person can hear those words and think, that is okay. That is a good thing for a person to say, especially our presidential candidate. Like, that should be our president.
And this should be your president? Really?
Those should be the words of our president. And yet, he still has a ridiculous amount of support.
Once again.
How? My only hope with this is that maybe it will convince some of the people who still thought there was like a shred of a little goodness in Donald Trump somewhere, that actually he's just a steaming pile of poop covered in Cheeto dust. A racist steaming pile of poop covered in Cheeto dust. Grabbing anyone's genitals without their permission? Sexual assault, not okay. Imagine if Hillary Clinton had been quoted saying she just goes around grabbing guys' dicks because she feels like it.
Trust me, no guy would want that. Also, go back and see the images that I gave you before and tell me that she's not crazy.
Also not okay. Imagine the media firestorm that Fox News and all the right-wing outlets would have if Obama had a tape of him saying that he just grabbed girls by the pussy. People would be all over that. The right-wing media would be slandering him all day, every day. And for good reason. Nobody should say that. Obama shouldn't say it, Hillary shouldn't say it, Trump shouldn't say it. But only one of those people actually said it.
And only one person has declared war on multiple countries. I wonder who that is. They rhyme with Hillary.
But if this is what it takes for people to realize that he's terrible and not vote for him, then alright, fine, sure, okay. Tons of Republican leaders have said that they're not going to support him now. John McCain said that he wasn't going to vote for him.
Yeah, all that sounds really nice. Now excuse me while I go inside my nuclear fallout bunker and sit out through World War III.
That's unheard of. I'm a little bothered when people were like, oh, it's okay if he bans Muslims. Oh, it's okay if he calls Mexican immigrants rapists. But then he says something about women and everyone's like, that's the final straw. That kind of bugs me, but whatever. If it can do it for you, whatever can convince you not to vote for Trump, I'm okay with it.
But God forbid you don't vote for Hillary. Oh my God. What kind of person wouldn't vote for Hillary? It's not like that there's a bunch of news outlets right now that are pointing out shit that she said. But nah, who wouldn't vote for Hillary?
He's been accused of sexual assault multiple times. His ex-wife swore under oath that he raped her. And
what about all the rapes that Hillary Clinton covered up? Oh, you don't want to mention that because she's a woman.
There are currently accusations that he raped a 13-year-old child. He's going to court or to a pre-trial conference on October 14th. This is ongoing stuff. Trump is not new to sexual assault scandals. He has a long history of being accused of sexual assault, and you can't just ignore all of that. There's a reason all of these accusations are at him, because he's pretty clearly a misogynist, and it's not.
It's not about all the money, though. Like, come on, guys. He's even worse. More than a couple million. I mean, like, what's money anyways?
Not that much of a stretch to imagine that he's a rapist. And look, I feel like we should all be upset that Donald Trump said this stuff. But when the only way that you can relate to it is by having a wife or a daughter, I feel like that's kind of messed up. Like, you should be able to understand that that's a horrible thing to say about women just by imagining women as people, not by imagining them as someone who is related to you. That's a horrible thing to say about any woman. It doesn't matter if she's your daughter or your wife or whatever. You shouldn't talk about women like that. So like, yeah, I get it. You have a daughter. You understand. But even if you didn't have a daughter, I still think you should understand. And in his defense, he was like, this happened over a decade ago. But like, the dude is 70 years old. Like, this happened when he was 60. Like, that's not young and foolish. Like,
He probably thought about what he said and thought, holy shit, I gotta change my character fast if I want to be anywhere in life.
60. You're not changing that drastically from when you're 60 to 70. Like, if 60-year-old Trump was a horrible, raging misogynist who said that, like, sexually assaulting women is okay, basically, I don't think 70-year-old Trump is that much different.
Notice the language that they use. They don't say that he completely said it was okay, and they're not showing examples of what he said that make him a misogynist that supports rape culture. No, they're just saying it. They want you to trust them rather than giving proof. And if you're wondering what he said, here it is now.
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. I can do anything.
Look at those legs. All I can see is the legs.
No, it looks good.
Come on, shorty.
Oh, nice legs, huh?
Oof, get out of the way, honey. That's good legs. Go ahead.
It's always good if you don't fall out of the bus. Like Ford, Gerald Ford, remember?
Honestly, I joke about that kind of crap with my friends all the time. Does that make me a misogynist? No. I joke about gay shit all the time too. We have a gay friend. There are times where I'll even, do one of those little elbow nudge jokes when they say something towards me, and I'll be like, I'll beat you in the streets. Just a funny joke. We can joke about that, because we can all laugh at each other. We can all laugh at terrible things.
It's not like he was like 13 and didn't know what he was saying, and then he grew up and changed his mind and like became a better person. This is stuff that he consistently says and does and has been doing his whole life. And
Citation.
to talk about this in like the larger context of rape culture, the thing is that some people have defended this by saying that it's like locker room banter, that it's just how guys talk. And like, I've grown up in like all guy spaces. Like, I remember being in these spaces where there were only guys, and guys are much worse when it's just guys. I feel like there becomes a culture around it that's just super toxic.
And there's toxic masculinity. It kind of makes me think of some other community that's very toxic. They're almost like a virus. They infect everything. I just can't put my finger on it.
Hyper masculine, and guys feel like they have to like prove themselves to each other, and so they'll talk like this. They'll say that it's okay to grab women by the pussy.
You were the last person that should be telling other people how guys act.
Or whatever, and they'll say horrible things about women, about sexual assault, and what Trump said wasn't that unusual in that context.
Well, seeing how we're throwing all men under the bus, let's throw all women under the bus. With what Hillary Clinton said, I bet that's what all women would say if they were president, or if they just had enough power to say so.
And that's the scary thing. Like, I think the defense that it's locker room talk is just, it's not a good defense. Like, Trump shouldn't have said those things, period.
The man can say what he wants, honestly. You don't control his life.
But the scary thing, I think, is that that's not unusual for locker room talk. Like, I think a lot of guys talk like that. And so when we talk about Trump saying these things, we have to talk about the larger culture around masculinity.
You know what? Yeah, let's just throw every single man that is masculine under the bus and then set the bus on fire.
This is a problem that we're facing, and it contributes to rape culture. When guys feel like it's okay to talk like this, when they're just around guys, they're perpetuating rape culture. And we know that. We're able to recognize that saying that thing is bad, But then we're also able to excuse it in other people by being like, oh, it's just locker room banter.
Break culture doesn't exist.
No, that's not okay. It's not okay for a presidential candidate to say. It's not okay for other guys to say. And this isn't like all guys say this stuff and all guys are a part of this. But like, a lot of them are. And
Wow, you're really digging deep into the social justice Bible to find things you can blame on men.
if you're complicit in this, if you're quiet while other people are saying this stuff, you're also a part of the problem.
And there it is. No matter what, all men are a part of this, and all men are still a problem. Especially if they're straight, white, cis men.
I don't understand how anyone can justify voting for Trump at this point. Like,
I just don't know why anyone would want to vote for Trump at this point. I mean, come on, guys. Who wouldn't want to vote for Hillary?
after all of these things that he's said, like cumulatively, if you look at all the horrible things he said about women and other marginalized people, how can you be okay with him being president? Like,
how can you be okay with World War III?
Voting for him is a direct attack on women, it's a direct attack on queer people, it's a direct attack on Muslims and immigrants. A vote for Trump is harming these people.
And a vote for Hillary is killing innocent Russians, Syrians, Chinese, and if the Czech Republic is forced into it, the Czech Republic, and anyone else that has to support Russia.
And that's not okay. Like, you don't just get to pretend like it's a difference in opinion. Like, this is stuff that will hurt people.
Yup, a man saying that he'll grab a woman by the pussy is something that hurts people. Yet, a crazed psychopath threatening multiple countries for war? That's perfectly justified, that's fine.
I think the really sad part is that we've gotten to the point where Trump can say this, and like no one's really surprised. And he's probably not going to lose a lot of supporters over this. Like, I hope he does, but I think this isn't going to hurt his poll numbers too bad. I think he's still going to have a huge amount of support. So, I don't know, in conclusion, I guess the moral of this story is a very familiar one. Trump is an asshole. His words can give us a glance into a larger rape culture where a 60-year-old man thinks it's okay if you're successful to sexually assault women. I'm really hoping that soon I'll get to make political videos that have nothing to do with Trump. I just want him to disappear out of the political realm completely. But it seems like no matter what he says, that's not going to happen. Well, that's everything I wanted to talk about. Thanks for watching this episode of Politics with Riley, and I'll see you next time. The world is awful.
And that's the end of my video. Once again, I'd like to thank Suit for letting me put a video on his channel. He's a really awesome guy. And if you want, check my channel out. The link will be in the description. Anyway, let's roll my outro.